If I understood you
So
correctly, you're saying the universe is the God of the Hindus. Is that what you said?
yes, everything is God for Hindus. So the whole universe is God.
Okay, one
Wait
second.
for,
Let me ask him the most basic question, which is based on his question. You claim that the universe is
yes,
God. Am I right?
yes,
Everything,
Okay.
everything is
Now,
God.
yes,
you know the scientists who told you that life began 3.7 billion years ago?
yes,
What did they say? When did the universe begin, according to them?
yes. They even calculated that 13 billion years ago.
Okay, so 13.8 billion, this is what the scientists say.
Yes, something like that.
Is
Yes.
this when your God started?
No, God exists forever. Okay.
Hold on.
Yes, go ahead.
Is there any scientific evidence that resurrection will actually happen, or is it just a belief?
You had the same problem last time as well, I remember.
So I want to confirm the question. Are you saying, is there any scientific evidence for resurrection? Is that right?
Yes. Is there any scientific proof that resurrection will actually going to happen? Okay. Is there any scientific proof? As scientists are saying. Okay. Let me explain why I asked this question. Uh, See, I'm basically comparing the goal of Muslims with goal of Hindus.
Okay.
Okay, sir. That is why I came up with question. See, for Hindus, the goal of Hindus, scientists already proved it will happen. In my opinion,
What will
scientists
happen?
already proved.
Which proof has been predicted by science, Brother Varun, within Hinduism? Lot of things are so unscientific within Hinduism. I'm
Let,
wondering because
let me
you're talking about science. Yeah, yeah.
let me tell you, madam. Let me tell you, madam. For Hindus, their goal is to merge back with the Lord. That is Brahman. It means the universe.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you understand, madam? The
I
universe is God for
I
Hindus.
understand. I understand. Have you seen any scientific proof of
Wait,
anybody
wait, madam.
merging
Wait,
back?
madam. Let me finish. Let me finish, madam. Don't ask
Yes,
questions in the
please.
middle. Let me
No, no, no,
finish.
sure. Yes,
Calm
please
down.
go
Okay.
ahead.
Varun, you need to calm down. Okay, so if I understood you
So,
correctly, you're saying the universe is the God of the Hindus. Is that what you said?
yes. Everything is God for Hindus. So the whole universe is God. So for Hindus, their goal is to merge back with the universe. And scientists are saying all the life on Earth, it will eventually end. It will eventually go extinct, and that means that all life on Earth will eventually merge back into universe.
What is the proof
Swati,
of it?
one
Wait
second.
for,
Let me ask him the most basic question, which is based on his question. You claim that the universe is
yes,
God. Am I right?
yes,
Everything,
Okay.
everything is
Now,
God.
yes,
you know the scientists who told you that life began 3.7 billion years ago?
yes,
What did they say? When did the universe begin, according to them?
yes. They even calculated that 13 billion years ago.
Okay, so 13.8 billion, this is what the scientists say.
Yes, something like that.
Is
Yes.
this when your God started?
No, God exists forever. Okay.
Hold on. So the very science evidence you're seeking, the same scientists say that your God had
I
a
understand.
beginning.
I understand your question, sir.
Your
I understand
yardstick
your
is
question.
science. Why don't calm down? Just listen to the question first.
Please see
Your
the logic
yardstick
with
that
what
you're waving at us
yeah,
is
yeah.
science, yes? The very scientists that
Yes,
you're holding your yardstick against or for
yes,
are saying
yes,
that your God had a beginning some 14 billion years ago. Now
yes,
you said, and I actually agree with that, that God is eternal.
yes,
God has no beginning.
yes,
But the
yes.
scientists, do you agree with the scientists that your God had a beginning? Because you said your God was the universe.
Let me explain. I
Go
can
on.
explain that. I understand your question. I understand your question, sir.
Alhamdulillah.
You're saying because universe had a beginning, how can universe be God? That is your question, right?
Yes.
Is that your question, sir?
Yes.
Because universe had a
Yes.
beginning, how can universe be God? That is your question, right?
Yes. Because
That
God
is
is
your question.
eternal. God doesn't have a beginning.
Yes, I understand your question. I expected you to ask this question, sir. I'm ready for this question. You understand?
You're ready for the
Okay.
answer? I'm ready for the
Yes,
answer.
I'm ready. I'm ready for your. I'm ready to give you the answer. It is mentioned in Chandogya Upanishad. Okay, Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.1.
You
Chandogya
have
Upanishad.
come with all the things ready here.
Yes,
Let him
Let
finish
me go
because
to
we
the
know he's not
exam.
quoting the scientist now. All of a sudden.
Yeah, what happened to the
I
scientists now?
wait for it, madam. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It
Please
says
go ahead, brother.
in Chandogya Upanishad, it says, before this world was manifest, there was only non-existence, and out of the non-existence, existence emerged. See, this is basically saying, see, Brahman is two types. One is Brahman with no attributes, and with Brahman with full attributes. So it is basically non-existence is Brahman with no attribute. Existence means Brahman with all kinds of attributes. So it
Are you talking
basically
about
says,
Nirgun and Sagun, brother Varun? Are you talking about Nirgun and
yes,
Sagun?
exactly, madam,
No,
exactly,
but
madam.
hold on.
Nitit Brahman.
No, no, but
Hold on.
that's a different
Varun.
thing. Yeah.
Your yardstick was science. So why have you
Yeah.
gone? Why have you gone to the Hindu scriptures,
What? Wait.
which to be honest are not accepted by the scientists?
What is science? Can you tell what is science? It is
I mean,
nothing
you
but
should
study
take
of
that
the
up.
universe, right?
Science is the study of the naturalistic world.
Yeah, study of the universe, right? Science means study of the universe, right or
No,
not?
Yeah,
no, no,
and
no,
they
no.
and they claim
Varun, wait.
Yeah, that's a flawed.
Science is the study based on empirical evidence, right?
Yes, but it's
So
still the
where
study
is
of the universe around.
so right? No. Varun, please calm down. We're not arguing here. This is not a football match. Okay, this is a discussion with adult human beings. So your yardstick when you joined, you said, what is the scientific evidence? Which means, by definition, there must be from which we get empirical evidence that we can point to say this is what we have observed. So the question we asked you is, what is the evidence that your God is the universe? And you agreed that your God is the universe. But then we said, well, does your God have a beginning? So, and then you said, okay, so the question is, your boundary is empirical evidence. Where is the empirical evidence that your God is the universe?
Because that's what he's starting
Because
with.
this is your yardstick. So I want to use your measure. You see, there is no empirical evidence. There is. So let me just finish, and then you can stop. There is no empirical evidence, as far as I know, that the texts, the Hindu texts that you refer to, are in any way valid. It is taken on faith. So this is not scientific. So give me the scientific evidence, not faith.
But Hindus are right? But Hindus are right? What Hindus are saying, it's going to happen. It's going to happen anyway. So Hindus are right here, right?
where is the scientific
How?
evidence, Varun?
Yeah.
Well, where is the scientific
we're
evidence?
asking you. Where
Where
is
is-
the scientific evidence
The
for your
scientific
claims?
evidence for what?
For your claims,
For
where is
what?
the scientific evidence?
What claim?
For-
What claim I
claim
did?
that the
You made the
okay,
claim
so
that the
you-
universe is God. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where is your
What is your
evidence?
understanding of the term God in this context?
In Hinduism,
not-
God means everything.
Yeah,
Okay,
everything.
so where is the scientific evidence for that?
You see, when everything God means, you can study the universe to know that. Yeah, as you go studying
Don't
the
tell us to
universe.
study.
No.
You're making the claim. The
Yeah.
onus is on you to provide the evidence. Don't tell us to study. You study and you give us the answer to the question or the claim that you're making.
See, even I can ask you, where is the proof that God is outside the universe? Where is that? You believe
We
God
never
is
said
outside
that
the
God.
universe, right?
Hold on. You didn't make the claim. You
We
made
never
the claim.
said. Yeah, we don't
Exactly.
make that claim. Yeah, we
So
don't.
if you make the
Islam
claim,
does
the
not make
onus
that
is on
claim.
you to provide the evidence.
Please provide the evidence, Brother Varun.
Or otherwise, just admit you don't
Varun,
have it.
Varun, yeah, so Varun, look, it's perfectly fine for you to say,
Yes.
I don't know today. I'll go and do some research, and then we can come back and talk again
Yeah.
another time. Okay?
That can be done.